episode 84 as we creep towards 100.
Right.
Joined once again with Crash Ryan from Twitter.
Hey.
Sometimes known as the Walrus.
Sometimes. Crash Ryan was the other one. You talking about the comics? That's actually where that comes from. There was a 4-issue comic book in the 80s called Crash Ryan. And it was like, I guess they call it diesel punk now. But it was like one of those like Rocketeer style, like a secret Air Force of like propeller planes before World War II versus another secret Air Force of propeller planes from before World War II.
So it was like Black Hawk with propeller planes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to tell my Sactown story.
Okay.
I teased this last episode.
Sure.
And people have been, on pins and needles ever since.
And the 30 seconds between the one they'll upload and the next.
Well, they're going to have to listen to the entire episode 83 to find out that I never got my Sactown story. And they're like, I hope it's the next one. Which is why this will be titled The Sactown Story.
The Sactown story.
The Sactown Story. All right.
Close to an actual script I have.
What's that?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
It's very close to an actual script I have.
The Sactown Story.
Sort of. Not really. It's got Sacramento in the title.
What's it called?
I don't.
He's like, I can't give that away.
No, I can give it away. It's just stupid.
Go ahead.
No, that's fine.
There's not enough stupidity in this podcast.
Tell your Sacramento story.
All right. So, well, it only becomes a Sactown story later. It starts as a Vallejo story.
All right.
So, like most of my best stories, it involves a girl.
Sure.
So, I saw this dude at California Maritime Academy.
Okay.
And he had a girlfriend, and she was actually pretty cute, and I talked to her for like 30 seconds. But like, I was never liking her.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck, he doesn't deserve her. And then so being an idiot, later on, he of course breaks up with her, or she breaks up with him, one way or another, and they're not together. Yeah. And I'm like, how can I exploit this?
As people do.
And I say to him, "No, be funny, dude. If I called her up and asked her out." He's like, "Oh, that'd be fucking hilarious." I'll be like, "You don't fucking know me, but I met you once." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm totally in." So he's like, so I'm and like I said, it's not a guy I was friends with, but like we were cordial, we weren't enemies.
Right.
And so he's sitting in my room, and I fucking get her phone number, and I call her up, and fucking just like I told him, I said, "Hey, you have no idea who the fuck I am, but hey, I saw you with this dude, and I thought you were pretty cute. Want to go out?" And she's like, "Tell me more."
Okay.
And I start talking to her, and the dude's like looking at me like, "What the fuck's happening?" And I start waiting him, "Get the fuck out! Get out, man! I'm busy."
I'm winning this one.
And I don't think I had any like real plans of this working,
Right.
but I figured it was a long shot, and it would be funny no matter how it came out. So she drives out, and I think partly because of safety issues, because she lives in Sacramento,
Right.
and partly to fuck with him.
Right.
That California Maritime Academy, you could rent a room, and she's like, tells her mom that, or tells me that her mom insisted, so she's renting a room on campus. And this is our first fucking date, and she's staying the night. Not necessarily with me,
Right.
but it's clearly this is making the rounds because everyone knows the story.
Or she's just letting people know where she is in case that becomes a question.
And we go check out the Rocky Horror Picture Show in Berkeley.
Uh-huh.
And of course she gets she's never seen it before, so she got to be on her head. She gets chosen to be part of the contest of fake an orgasm, which she ends up winning.
Right.
And what she told me later was totally based on when Harriet met Sally.
Why wouldn't it be?
And so he's giving me shit the next day, or a couple days later, about, "Hey, how'd the date with my ex-girlfriend go?" And I'm like, well, honestly, she won a contest about how to fake an orgasm, and I tell you, I can't but help but wonder where she got the practice. And that shut him up pretty good. That was true. Well, it's true that she won the contest anyway. I'm like, I just can't help but wonder. That was one of my best delivered insults ever, because it's all conversational. Just, I don't know. Just can't help wonder, trying to figure it out. How do you think she got so good at that?
Be the connection.
And we ended up.
That was your Sacramento story? Go,
No, we went date. So she was from Sacramento, but then we dated for a bit. Then we broke up for whatever reason, and Well, I think 'cause I moved.
Okay.
And then I'm like, hey, why don't I come and visit? So I took a Greyhound bus to Sacramento, and we got to enjoy Sacramento nightlife.
It's a thin bird.
Yeah. So then we went to, drove to San Francisco. Oh no, we went to Lake Tahoe.
Okay, yeah.
Lake Tahoe is beautiful. You been there?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very close to where I live, yes.
Well, it's like an hour, right?
Yeah, from Folsom it's less than an hour. Really.
So
you had to pass through Folsom to
so
get
you
there.
lived in Folsom?
Yeah.
Like Folsom Prison Blues?
Yeah.
Is there a prison there?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, they wrote a song about it. It was
Well,
very
I know,
famous.
but I don't know if it's still there. I'm like, they could have closed it. It could have actually,
No, it's one of the two major maximum security prisons in that sentiment.
like there's this huge, like things are different. Like, you ever been to Chicago?
No.
Well, there's a Phil Oaks folk song about Lincoln Park, and I was like, excited to go to Lincoln Park. And it turns out in Lincoln Park there's a statue of Grant. And in Grant Park there's a statue of Lincoln. I'm not making this up. This is a real thing in Chicago. And I think because of that, I don't know. All I know is like, but I think also the song Lincoln Park in Phil sort of might be about Grant Park. I don't know. But either way, where was I going with this? Anyway, so I got to enjoy Sacramento and take a bus to Sacramento like twice before
the bus lets you off in the shittiest fucking dumpster part of town too.
Yeah, she picked me up luckily and dropped me off. But it also, when I lived in Vallejo,
Did you walk down the beautiful K Street Mall?
we
Outdoor mall in
no.
a place like it's 110 degrees in the summer?
we spent I think one night in Sacramento. Everything else was like in Lake Tahoe and San Francisco. But Vallejo would drop you in a fucking shitty place, and I would have my rollerblades in a bag, and I would rollerblade from the Greyhound station to the
This is
the academy.
the most 90s story ever.
I love my rollerblades, dude. Fucking it was all hills too. And California Maritime Academy was up at this very top of this long winding hill,
Right.
like super long and winding hill, and steep too. And the first time I tried rollerblading it, I fucking first day of school, and I tried to make a left turn, and I was too sharp a left turn. I literally lifted up like about 40 degrees up in the air and landed like shoulder face first. And someone drove by and like, are you okay? And I'm like, I don't know, how do I look? And that's how I became, for my freshman year, the very first patient at the medical center at California Maritime Academy. I was their inaugural patient because, well, I tried taking a left turn at speed. You're not meant to take a left turn on rollerblades. Did you have rollerblades?
Some dude brought some rollerblades over at the flop house once.
And you all shared them?
I couldn't stand up really. I was wobbly and I was like, fuck, I don't do this.
Well, they have to be your size, man. They're not like one size fits all rollerblades.
Well, they were my size. I like the fucking average feet. But I couldn't, just wobbling back and forth with my ankle.
Oh, and then the very end of my Sactown story is that she broke up with me while I was in basic training for the Army National Guard, on a day when I got a letter from two other girls also breaking up with me. I had a lot of like non-committed relationships.
I see.
And I'm like, I figured I was due to get a Dear John letter in fucking basic training.
Right.
I didn't think I was going to get three of them on the same fucking day.
I got broken up from basic training.
Ooh, that ups the ante a bit.
Yeah, she
Broke
went
up with you.
She went off to basic training at I always joke about this, but maybe I shouldn't.
Why not?
She always goes like, so what would you do if I got pregnant? And I was like, I don't know, I'll cross that bridge when you never get to it. Just don't do it. Like,
No.
should I start wearing all right.
I can see your brain moving. Okay, should I? No, I'm not gonna talk about that. No, I'm not talking about that.
But she
Real
goes,
time elision.
Yeah. She goes, I don't think I'd tell you. I just moved very far away from you. I was like, that's weird, creepy. So she was in basic training, and we'd see each other occasionally because she goes from basic training to her fucking specialty shit, whatever.
And where was she going to basic at?
I don't know, wherever the Navy does it, Virginia.
Navy's got lots of different, well, at least several different ones.
Yeah, I think
Marine Corps got 2, Coast Guard's got 1, Army's got like 8.
I think she went to Virginia. I don't know.
Okay.
Clearly, lots of reasons.
All right, Norfolk, Virginia. Sure, let's say that.
So she gets done with basic. She gets to the point where she can get assigned, and she did well in her classes, so she could get any assignment she wants. So she could be signed in San Francisco. We could still be. And she goes, "I'm assigned in Washington D.C. and we're breaking up." And then just fucked off and like barely heard from her again.
Well, but that was after basic training. 'Cause
Yeah.
you said she was in her specialty classes, right?
Yes.
So, but you did get it from a military girl. She's like, I'm getting stationed someplace else, and you can fuck off.
Yeah.
And
So
wait,
she
so
did-
how old were you?
She did just break up with me and then move very far away.
She did.
So
She told you she was going to do it, and she did it.
Yeah.
You gotta respect that.
yeah, which also means that there's like a 10% chance there's a little fucking Ryan out there somewhere. Or at this point would be a full-grown Ryan who had gone through college on his own at this point.
Wow. So how old were you?
20?
Wait, so this is like your first girlfriend or what?
Second.
Second girlfriend. And she's like, out. I'm in Washington, D.C.
You bounce.
I had an ex-girlfriend move to Washington, D.C., but that was much more, well, not terribly recent, but like 10 years ago.
Yeah. This was the one where I was too cowardly to break up with her myself.
So you're just waiting for her to do it?
Yeah.
That's a solid option.
I figured out all my relationships were just like me living the sins of my previous relationship.
I do not like to break up with people, and I'm like, I have been in relationships where I'm hoping they'll break up with me, and I said this, and I won't say to who, but I was like, do you know how much I would pay you to break up with me so I would have no guilt about this being over?
I kind of begged my last one to break up. Just break up with me. You clearly don't like me. It's kind of your responsibility at that point. You don't like me. Why are you putting yourself through this? Break up with me.
Well, one
Don't
thing I
pass
like
the buck on to me.
One thing I like about science fiction, and I actually got this from a Connie Willis book, who's a great sci-fi writer, because you can't pick. If you like soft sci-fi, Connie Willis is amazing. And a lot of her books are short too. Like, she wrote a book called Lincoln's Dreams, which is like just totally like changed my perspective on a lot of things. Mostly with the Civil War, but still. What was that? Yeah. Anyway, like, I don't believe in marriage. I believe in like temporary relationship contracts. Like, you should contract, because I do think you are making commitment, right?
Right.
Like, we're gonna either share a living space for 2 years, or we're gonna like, you can't cheat on me for 2 years, and if you do, you owe these kind of penalties, whatever. It's a contract.
Okay.
I mean, like,
It's very romantic.
They didn't really go into details about it, but like, there is a contract, like a cohabitation contract, which is like they can renew after like 2-3 years.
Okay.
Which I think is like a
Very,
marriage.
very romantic idea.
Well, marriage is a contract,
Right.
but it's like a lifetime contract. Who the fuck wants to get a lifetime contract? Would you sign with your employer and say, okay, you have to work with this employer for the rest of your fucking life?
Yeah, but there's a mechanism to end the contract when everyone's decided it's not cool anymore.
Divorce is a fucking nightmare to go through.
Yes.
And it takes forever, and it's not specific as
I
to
say
what
that as
happens.
if I've ever.
Yeah,
My friends have gone
well-
through divorce. I've never.
Well, I've represented people in divorce custody
Yeah.
on a pro bono basis, but still,
Yeah.
which just made it worse because a lot of work for no money.
Yeah. And it's all pleasant. Everyone's like mad. Everyone's the devil.
Well, this guy wasn't my first case as a lawyer was this pro bono divorce.
I like the only part of this conversation that dude heard was everyone's the devil. Came out of my voice.
He gave a look. But my first case pro bono divorce, and there was no kids. There was like almost no property.
Right.
It wasn't really contested. But sure enough, on the day of the court hearing, the guy shows up and he starts asking me for advice. I'm like, dude, I am not your lawyer. I'm the complete opposite. I'm the lawyer for the person who's against you. I said,
capitulate.
yeah, I said, that being said, do you want to contest this divorce? Are you unhappy about it? He's like, no. He's like, ask me if I have to be there. And I'm like, no, then just get the fuck out. You're only going to complicate things. Let's go check it out. All right. Well, we'll lay on towards wherever your oral sensibilities are leading you. Yes, it does sound like a flute or recorder. Let's say recorder. Let's be fancy.
I don't know what it is.
Didn't you say like there's a flute guy you don't like?
Say it out loud.
You can't hear us. He's playing a flute. Well, you said there's like some guy who like hassles you or something, right?
There's only hassle. No, he has a strange enthusiasm. I'm not quite sure.
You're like super nice.
Yes.
Why are you so nice?
Because it's way fucking easier.
Yeah, but you're not though. I've talked to you enough. There's a deep level of dickhead that's just aching to get out.
No, I'm not a fucking marshmallow, but I don't unnecessarily hostile to anybody. Oh yeah,
What song is that?
Girl from Ipanema.
Oh.
And unlike me, he's playing that shit from memory. I cannot memorize songs. It's actually pretty good. That's not the guy I was thinking.
Oh. Well. That is an interesting. Like, I'm homeless, but I can play the flute wherever I want. I don't have roommates pounding on the door and be like, shut the fuck up. Stop already. You played that song for 5 times.
Dude, when I was homeless, the saxophone was such a fucking pain. Keeps you. The thing about homeless, and people are starting to learn this now because people are saying it, the biggest thing about homelessness is the boredom. You're so fucking bored. You're not allowed to be anywhere. You're just like you're criminalized as a person.
Yeah.
And you don't have any money to fucking spend on anything, so no one wants you anywhere, and you are just bored. Like, there's only so much of the day you can fucking commit to trying to get out of the situation, then you're just rest of the day.
Wow.
Fuck.
What am I gonna do?
Stop.
I got so many hours.
Yeah.
I've talked to myself. I know everything I'm gonna say.
It's not like you have a sound sleep. You get like 2 hours, you wake the fuck up, your feet are cold, it's all bullshit.
How long were you homeless for? At various times, it's varied. Various times. What was the longest stretch?
So close to a year, I think.
Wow. A lot of time.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly.
No, I mean, you know, well, I guess when you get close to a year, like, what does it matter anymore? I'd be like, I've been homeless for 320 days, 5 hours, and 8 minutes.
Yeah. And throughout that, you come up with like a bunch of artificial solutions. Literally was in a van by a river by a sec for a minute.
Wait, what was that?
Literally did park my van by a river for a little bit.
Oh, you were, what's his name? Mark Foley?
Chris Foley, probably.
No, but what's his, the guy?
Oh, I don't know the character's name.
You know the character? I live in a van by the river.
Yeah. I didn't realize it until I woke up in the morning and there was a river there, and I was like, oh shit, all right, well, whatever.
Well, but you had a car or a
van.
bus. Yeah. Man, that's not really homeless. If you got a van, you're never homeless. You're just living in your van. And I mean, I know it's still shitty, but like,
Well,
imagine
the van-
being homeless without a van.
Well, the van crapped out about halfway through it. It had to be stored somewhere, so now it's on the
Oh, you're like, I don't have to imagine. I only had a van for half that year.
Yeah.
Like, double down.
You live in lived in this projection booth for a while,
Yeah, you talked about that.
and then after that, that's how I wound up with the meth heads.
Well, oh, you were a jughead.
Yeah, a little bit, I guess.
You seem...
I wasn't as broodingly handsome, I guess.
No, well, Jughead's not supposed to be brilliantly handsome. That's a fucking interesting take on the character.
It's got a hot fucking...
I know how hot his girlfriend is. Bessie. No, Betty and Veronica.
Yeah. That's where the bus's name come from.
Right.
Which is the only
Also
reason
where my ex-girlfriend Veronica's name came from.
Really?
She also was named after.
the Veronica character.
Yeah. And when she was younger, she could fit that character. Not in like the rich way, but in the way of like just being fucking terrible.
Right.
Like I used to joke, and I told her, I was like, we used to joke around. I'm like, you could come around like two guys who are like best friends for years and be like, I love you, man, I love you, do anything for you. And you just would walk by, talk to them for like 5 minutes, and they'd be fighting each other. I'll kill you, man, I'll fucking kill you. Fucking kill you first. I was like, you're just a fucking like 2 tons of entropy dragged into a 120-pound body. And she's like, yeah, that was me. She's like, I've changed. And I'm like, not so much, no. Of course, she's probably listening to this. Hi, how you doing? Hey, Entropy. And on that note, Hey, Entropy is the name of this podcast.
Not the Sactown.
Things evolve.
You have to hunt that fucker out.
Hey, Entropy. Again, you can find, if you have any script writing needs, find @CrashRyan on Twitter. And you can find me, DougXComedy.com.